Well, it's a video that has sparked tons of outrage around the world. 4 Marines seen on camera desecrating several Taliban bodies. Now, those Marines have been identified and charges are expected to follow. But our next guest says, wait, let's not rush to judgment here on these Marines. We need to keep this incident in perspective. Nathan Fletcher is a retired U.S. Marine, a California state assemblyman, and is now running for mayor of San Diego. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Dave.
How do you feel about how Marines in general are being characterized in the wake of this terrible video coming to light?
Well, I think everyone agrees that what these Marines did was wrong and they should be disciplined for it. But I think it's really important to put it in the context of the environment we're asking young men and women to go into. They're tired, they're cold, they're living in the shadows, they're afraid, they're witnessing horrific acts, they're fighting an enemy, Dave, that has no problem cutting the heads off of innocent aid workers or using children and toddlers to blow up innocent people in markets to make a point. And what you saw was Marines who had a inexcusable and wrong but an emotional reaction to a traumatic environment. And I think some people have gotten carried away in making comparisons. I saw one person talking about these Marines need to be brought to justice using the same language that was used to describe Osama bin Laden. And so what they did was wrong. And they're going to be disciplined for it, and it needs to be a teaching lesson for the rest of the Marine Corps. But let's not call into question the character of these brave men who put their life on the line, who leave their families to fight a violent war against a brutal enemy, and they do it for our protection and safety.
Indeed, perspective is important here. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta called the act utterly deplorable, though. Do you agree with that characterization, and what should be done with these Marines?
Well, I think what happened was wrong, and I think it was unacceptable. But I think you have to understand it is an emotional reaction to an environment that, if you've never been there, is really hard to understand. You know, it's really hard to put in context the fear and the danger and the things that go through I mean, we're talking about teenagers at times who have never been in a fist fight in their life. They volunteer to serve their country. They get sent to a horrific and violent environment. And so I think it was wrong, and I think that they should be disciplined for it, and I think that the Marine Corps and the military will handle that. But to really watch people who live a climate-controlled life, who at times, you know, their greatest worry is maybe their latte is not the right temperature, cast disparaging comments on judgment on Marines who did the wrong thing, but not are inherently bad people, I think offends a lot of us who served.
You, in fact, served, and I think it helps for folks to hear what you've been through, what you've seen, things you've had to endure, friends and family. So tell the folks out there the things that you've been forced to endure.
Well, so many tens of thousands of brave men and women have stepped up in this war to serve, and I'm just one who only did 2 deployments. So many have done so much more. They've seen so many more difficult things. But you go into a context and environment of combat and warfare, and you're doing it to protect your country. You're doing it to protect your family, and the sacrifices that these families are making are intense, and they're real, and they're lasting. And I think it's really important that our overriding concern or effort be to thank the family, to thank those who are serving. You know, to say we appreciate your service, and when mistakes are made, we'll say, hey, that was a mistake, we're going to correct it, but we are not going to call into question your character.
You, sir, had one cousin killed 2 years ago in Afghanistan, had another, both legs amputated right above the knee, so you have certainly seen the pain of war. Nathan Fletcher, retired Marine, thank you for your service. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
More Fox and Friends.